Welcome. I'm Jamie Tyler, your energy esthetician, and this is the Love Aligned podcast. Today, we're going to dive deeper into a different way of healing, something that really helped me. I'm going to talk about connecting with your spirit guides. One of the most healing things to me is knowing we are not alone. We have loved ones as well as spirit guides on the other side. They guide us, they help us through our life. Though we may not see them physically, they are there. Since I was a little girl, I have felt the presence and spiritual guidance around me. I have felt it connected to me. It was hard for me to understand these feelings and guidance, just all of it. I mean, as a child, it would be really hard to understand. I also grew up in a religious family, so I knew there was more out there. Of course, I learned about our Father in Heaven, Jesus, the Holy Ghost, and all these things. And I'd heard of the stories of angels visiting others in the religion I grew up in throughout my life, but never did I ever know or understand that we all have guides, spirit guides who help us, who help keep us on our path to success. When I did learn this, it was through my own journey of healing and surrendering to the unknown. Through this, I had to also realize that I had to surrender to fear, darkness, the unknown, all of it. Because the reality is, fear feeds on fear. But if you no longer are afraid of the darkness, the negative spirits, or what a lot of people call Satan, right? As some may say, or whatever this negative is called that we are taught to be afraid of, the happier our lives are. And why? Because we're not afraid of it. We're not afraid of darkness. We're not afraid of the negative energies. We realize that there can't be light without it. We can't have darkness without light, and vice versa. Just like we can't have the sun without the moon, right? We need to send it all love and let it feel our light so it understands we aren't afraid of it. But by doing this, I have learned that darkness or negative energies, as you may say, are now more afraid of us for shining without fear. So I am going to tell you, step into that power and let go of fear, something that was taught to us. We weren't born to fear, so let go of it and truly trust and just send love and light wherever you go. With that said, I soon realized I have been seeing spirits my whole entire life. However, I have been worried about judgment, as well as just scaring people away and just freaking them out, right? These things about me, I can't just go up to somebody and say, hey, as a child, I see people around and they might not be around. I would sound crazy. So I kind of just kept it to myself. I didn't want to be the weirdo or whatever people may have called me at the time. I mean, I already didn't fit in anyway, so I definitely didn't need it to be worse for me. I have never felt that belonging to the church I was in. There's like so many people that go and they have their little groups and they get along and they talk, right? I was never part of that. I was never really, no one talked to me really. I just didn't fit in. And also, I'm not going to lie, I'm just going to come out and say, I never even really trusted it, I guess I should say. It never sat with me right, even as a child. And until now, I haven't really spoken of it. So I didn't want to hurt my family who loves and believes in their beautiful religion. I simply respect other belief system as they should respect others' beliefs as well. And I just didn't want to hurt them. However, I remember as a little girl, my grandpa Faye had died. I remember certain things about him, but most are just stories that have been told to me. Again, I was little, but I do know that I knew he had passed before being told. And how? Because he visited me. He told me he was always going to be with me. He was proud of me. He also called me and just said, "You will always be my little Koki Kike." So I don't even know what the meaning of that word was at the time or where it came from. I mean, I know the story behind it now, and it's a word I made up. So it was just something that I called myself. And so people would say, "Oh, there's Koki Kike." So it was something that he called me. And I also remember that we had this little dog. His name was Chewy. He was a little Yorkshire Terrier. And I do remember him getting hit by a car. From my memory, however, this dog, he had died. It was in our own driveway that he got hit. From what I remember. I don't know all the details, but what I do know is he would sometimes sleep at the bottom of my feet under the covers. And even after he had died, I would see him. And I wouldn't just see him. I would feel him. I would hear him. And he would be at the bottom of my feet while I slept. And I remember that going on for a few months. These little things were big things to a child. I started to see other people around me in my home. I wondered who they were. And sometimes if I didn't see them, I would feel them. And it was intense. Like I knew they were there. I could smell different smells. I would hear distorted voices. But what did they want? I tried to blow it off. I started to be afraid. So yes, I brought fear in. I knew nothing else. I had no one to help me understand. I was afraid to reach out, so I didn't get teased. Just so many thoughts went through my little head. But it just kept happening. And still to this day, it is my gift. And I have now learned to surrender to it. I am no longer afraid of it. I am no longer afraid of what people think or say. I think it is beautiful, and I think it is something that a lot of people have, and they just don't understand it. But the point here is, this is where I learned about spirit guides. This is where I learned that we do have help on the other side, and they are here to help us in our highest good. There's nothing, and I say nothing, to be afraid of. Just trust. And this is honestly where my journey with my spirit guides began. I had them help me many times throughout my childhood and even into this day. The thing is, even as a child, I was never afraid of them. I felt nothing but pure love and comfort. I knew that they were here to help me get through all the craziness. And I loved the feeling of just not being alone in the moments when I had no one to turn to. I have definitely had plenty of those moments too, where I have felt alone, just not good enough. I really, growing up as the oldest, I didn't feel like I was loved, even though I'm sure I was. So these are just ways of me feeling alone and just not good enough, just not wanting to be here. My guides save me. They save me from more than I can even talk or even like to talk about. But most of the time, even at my darkest times, when I felt I could no longer go through this life, and there have been many times I felt that, they had stepped in with power. And they had stopped me from doing the unthinkable. And I knew at that time I was worth it, and I was loved, and I knew I was never alone. And there was something so much bigger for me. And I just needed the time to find out what that actually was. I will say this is, you need to remember, you do need to ask, you do need to trust, and you do need to surrender to it. When we become willing to see a world beyond our physical sight, then life becomes easier. We feel safer, and we can access our true power. Honestly, knowing that there's a presence always supporting me has given me strength to get through the times I never thought I could. And trust me, along the way, there have been plenty of those, as I'm sure all of you have also had that. There have been more times than I can think or even count that I have seen and felt the divine intervention. It has honestly brought me out of my darkest times. And let me tell you, what I have come to know for myself and believe is we have beautiful divine help guiding us on the other side, working in our highest good. They're always listening for us and listening to us, right? And they're always waiting for us. They just want us to reach out and ask for the help. They're waiting for us to do this. But what I've also learned is what stops most of us is we just get stuck in this fear-based system of thinking or belief system, something that we could have been taught just growing up, just believing in something different and just letting it stop us, letting fear control it. But our guides can and will lead us back to love. Just surrender. Surrender your fear and see with your spiritual eye. We have all types of guides, from ancestors, our deceased family members, to non-ancestor guides. They all love us. They just want what's best for us. And with that said, I am going to go over some ways I have learned to work with my guides and how you can use these same ways, whichever one's called to you, to work with yours as well. There's multiple ways to do this. These are just ones that have worked for me personally, and I just hope you figure out what works best for you. So here are some ways, here's some steps I'm going to go through with you. And the first one is just simply ask them. Ask them to step on a certain side, on your right, your left, your head, your feet, wherever. Guide them. Feel out the energy. Really feel it and connect with them. When you ask them to step to one side or another, you can feel that energy shift. Just close your eyes, open and breathe, and just really feel for them, listening to you, stepping forward. Ask for signs. Ask for something tangible like butterflies or hummingbirds, words from songs, anything that has meaning, and then just really pay attention. Watch for these signs and then thank them. They're always sending us signs and we're just not paying attention because we don't understand or we don't know or we're just not working with them. But when you start to work with them, really pay attention to what you ask of them. Another thing is just remember to listen, pay attention, really be open to receiving, okay? Sometimes the best way to do this is through meditation, or you can do breath work. That's my favorite way. One thing we have to realize is we have to slow down our vibration to become aligned with our guides. The vibration we want to attune to is love, peace, and just a tranquil state. This is truly where our connection is strongest. Remember to let go of all expectation. Trust the plan, the process. Know that your guides do have a plan, and their plan is better than yours. They are wise. They are loving. They want you to have the best experiences. So like I always say, surrender and trust. They will lead you. And trust your own abilities too. Believe in yourself. Believe that you have the abilities to call them in at any time. The more you trust in your own abilities, the more it opens up for you. We all have gifts, all of us. We just need to learn to surrender and trust so we can open them and see our own potential. I'm going to give you an activity, something that you can try and see if this helps you. All you need is a blank paper and a pen in your own mind, right? First, you will write your intentions on the paper. Whatever your intentions are with your guides, just write the intentions down. And then think of a symbol, okay, that you want them to send you. It could be, again, a butterfly, a number, a word, anything, right? A dragon, whatever it is. And write that symbol down. So in your mind, like I said, pick a symbol for your spirit team. It can be anything. Ask them to show you when they are present. Okay? Then write on the paper, I give my spirit guides permission to work with me in my life. When they are present, I want them to show me, and then you write what you want them to show you, what the symbol is or the number, whatever you picked. Okay? I want you to fold that paper up and put it somewhere safe, in a drawer, in a nightstand, just somewhere where you can go back to it at a later date. What this does is this actually gives the universe our intentions, and later it gives the energy that we can trust to help our guides come forth and work with us. Again, it's trust. Okay? Remember to always just invite them in for your highest good. Always. So for instance, you would say, I invite my spirit guides to come forward for my highest good. And then always show gratitude. Nurture the connection. They are here to assist us, so remember that. They're here to assist us. This is not a crystal ball for every decision. We all have human experiences and lessons to learn. Open yourself to receive message without expectation. So again, this is a meditation, breath work, but when you go into that, say, I'm open to receive messages for my highest good. And just always remember, everything is for our highest good. Don't hold expectation or judgment to any of it. And just trust, surrender. Remember, your spirit guides won't just help you. They will help you help other people. They are definitely here to help you be a part of spreading love and light in the world. And honestly, with all the chaos going on in the world right now, we need it. All the crazy things happening, we can use more people awakening and opening up, healing themselves so they can help heal others. So I challenge you to start connecting. I challenge you to do one of the activities to try to open up to your guides without expectation and just trust and give it time. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, right? We really have to work with this. If this is the first time you've ever tried working with your guides, give it time and trust the process and trust them and trust in everything is for the highest good. Just remember to connect and not be afraid, and to let fear go. Send it love. No need to fear the unknown. No need to fear working with spirits for our highest good and connecting with them, and to help broaden your spiritual awareness and your awakening. I hope you have a beautiful day. Thanks again for joining your energy esthetician on the Love Aligned podcast. Tune in for next week's show. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Love Aligned Podcast. Click on the link in my bio and like, subscribe, comment, and ring that bell. You can also private message me if you need a remote or in-person healing. You can email at lovealignedpodcast@gmail.com for questions as well. And again, have a beautiful day and happy healing.